Hi, everyone. Welcome to episode 5 of Love Notes. This one is Echo Meets Dave's Church Family. We went down on a Friday afternoon, got there Friday evening, and the first place Dave wanted to take me was to meet Miss C, who I won't be using their names. I'll just be using a letter. Um, but Miss C is not only a church member, but she was also his landlord. And so he wanted me to meet her right away, and I did, and we hit it off right away, and we had a nice conversation. And to this day, she still tells me if I need her to straighten Dave out, just to let her know. So she's a very, very nice lady, and made me feel right at home. The next day on Saturday, Dave told me that a friend and church member, Miss T, would be coming over to see about getting some of his belongings that we were not going to bring with us, some of the furniture and things. His church had helped him out in the beginning when he got that little house, and he wanted to pay it back, kind of play it forward with them and let the church members have what items he didn't need to take. So Miss Tanya came and oops. Um, Miss T came and spent the day with us, um, getting to know me and picking up things. And it wasn't too long after Dave's birthday. And so she was sad that she had missed his birthday. So she went and she brought us dinner, um, and a very nice dinner, and then brownies for dessert. So we didn't have cake on this for his birthday, but we did have some delicious brownies. So then the next day was Sunday, and we went to church. And walking into the church, I felt a little overwhelmed, knowing that I was a new person in that church, and knowing that this was Dave's church, that it was a place he was very comfortable in, but I had a little bit of anxiety. We sat down and they started the service, and it was actually like a youth service, and so everyone pretty well went around telling their story, giving their testimony type of thing. And then we had a guest speaker. Well, when the guest speaker was singing, we were singing, he was sitting right behind me, and I didn't know he was the guest speaker. But he was singing, and it just was like the Holy Spirit came over me at that moment. And when he got up to preach, I just knew that that sermon was meant for me. And I sat there and I boo-hooed through most of that sermon, because I really felt like that particular preacher was talking directly to me. And so I really enjoyed the service and the sermon. And then Miss T gets up and goes to the front of the church, and she says, I have an announcement. We have a visitor with us today. And if Echo and Dave would please stand up. And then she proceeded to tell them that I was Dave's fiance, that we had gotten engaged, and that we would be having a wedding in February. And she wanted everyone to welcome us and make us feel at home. And I was very shocked by that. I was very delighted, but it was very shocking. I did feel like all eyes were on me for a few minutes. After the service was over, we went back to the house, and Miss T came by again because there was a few more items she wanted to pick up. And when we got out to the car to leave, she said, now you must tell me your wedding colors so that we can help and get the wedding set up for you, and I can start buying decorations. And so I thought about it for a minute, and I said, well, dark purple, lilac, and white. So this is kind of a picture of the bouquet I liked. Um, anyway, Miss C um, was gracious enough to tell us that we could use her lake area where there's a gazebo and a lake. We could use that for the wedding. And then Miss T was gracious enough to say she would help, have it decorated for us. And then Miss R, who I forgot to mention earlier, is the pastor's wife. She also told me if David gets out of line, just let her know. And she has called me a couple of times to check in to make sure everything's going good. Um, but she also, let us know that they would be glad to help us with the wedding. And then I did speak to Dave's pastor, and I did ask the pastor if he would be the one that married us, and he said he would. So in one day, we pretty well got the entire wedding situated. So that was what happened on episode 5. Stay tuned for episode 6 when Dave becomes a papa. It's very cute and very funny. Thank you very much for watching, and we will see you next time. Have a good day.